Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
It's not Tuesday,
It is not Tuesday
and it won't be Tuesday
anymore.
anymore.
I know. How long will it take us to realize it's not Tuesday?
Probably a little while.
Today is the last 2022 digital dealer exclusive, and it's super cute. It's a little eye mask, so I am pleasantly covered in
You got snow.
white fuzz
You
from
got some
the eye
snow.
mask. Yes, the little minky cuddle Shannon fabric.
What ours is.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but yeah,
a little nicer than Minky.
yes. Oh God, it feels so soft. Yes.
So
It's like
I just want to ask.
petting.
I think we need to make two,
Yes.
and we both get to take a nap this afternoon.
Right.
Put them on.
If you come in and we wear it, we're can
napping.
Yes.
Or at least taking a timeout.
We're just trying out our.
We have to test the product.
Yeah. That seems legit, right? Tucker can handle it.
Absolutely.
She's got it down pat. Oh goodness. This looks like it's going to be a quick stitch. I actually haven't read the instructions past making the.
I printed them.
The strap.
And then I laid them out and said, "Hey, I printed them."
Yes. So the hardest part, I believe, about
Is
this
we
whole
already done.
thing, we did. Yeah, you need to have the band completed before you start your project. So the instructions have you cut a 2-inch by 27-inch piece of your minky stuff, and then you sew it right sides together.
Yep.
They recommend that you use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine. I went to the serger because we have sergers available to us. If you have a serger, this will sew up so much nicer,
easier,
and really you get so much stretch in a sewn serger stitch versus even a stretch stitch. And you don't have to have a ton of stretch on this because the whole purpose of putting the elastic in is that the fabric crinkles, and that provides extra. But, just in case. Lisa and I had fun turning the tubes this morning. So when she came,
of course,
right when she got here, I had like this much done. I'm like, I'm having trouble.
And I was like,
So yeah,
so I did one and she did one.
And then when I put the elastic in, I used the bodkin. Did I leave the bodkin over here? Nope.
No.
I wonder what. Oh, it's right here. I brought it.
I have a bodkin, but not the one you used.
Yeah. So I used this guy, and this is a bodkin, and it basically has a clamp on the back end, and
it's like
then
a wishbone.
Kind of like a wishbone, and then you have a little like a washer that you pull
slide up that tightens it,
and then you can it grabs on, and they're like pronged. We'll show it under the other camera in a little bit. But we have these little bodkin packs. You get two versions.
Yeah, you get the one that you can feed like a needle.
Yeah.
You can't see that from here.
No.
But one end is like a needle, and then this one, it has a nice tip on it, so it doesn't get caught in anything. So when we switch over, we'll show that a little bit.
Yes.
We used to have a package over here. I don't know if it's
around
or...
had to find a new package because the only bodkin that I could find was the one that you had.
Oh. I found some bodkins in that bin over there.
Did you?
I did.
So
but that's okay. So this is the packaging that is there. So you get the two parts, and it's like yay. So
yes.
But I'll show them under the camera when we get over here.
So we made that, and then when I pulled the elastic through, I also serged the elastic to the end. So you'll see the little
and so there's no chance that it's going to into the inside and no longer be. It won't lose its spring.
So you'll want to make sure that you do your.
You'll need those before you start this stitch out because of course they're going to get sewn into the ends of the mask. Otherwise,
this feels so low in comparison to because we've been up.
So,
wow.
the thread stand's not in our face.
I know. Well, I raised this a little bit and I shortened this down a little bit, but yeah, it really did make a big difference. It was right across my nose this morning.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, we've if you were watching
different
yesterday,
cabinet
we rearranged
than
the
what
store.
we've been using.
So yeah, I couldn't figure. I'm like, why do I feel so tall? I'm like, it's not like I grew.
Good morning.
Yes. So we're gonna start this project, and we might get through both today.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see.
we do plan to stitch both. Neither of them are a fast stitch.
You mean a long stitch?
What she said.
Both of them are a fast
They
stitch.
are both a fast stitch.
Yes.
Total stitch time on this one is only 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But it will take a moment to trim this lovely fabric.
Yes.
So,
All right.
all right. So first things first, we have wash away, and we're using a 5x7 hoop. So this is just a single layer of wash away. There's not a heavy stitch amount, so you don't need to worry about needing to bulk up your stabilizer in the hoop. So we have a single layer of wash away in a 5x7 hoop. Our first stitch color stop is just a placement line for our beautiful fuzzy. So we're going to go ahead with that.
And you will want a water-soluble topper, and you're going to put your water-soluble topper on at the same time as you put your minky on.
So I have threaded with a exquisite color that pretty much matches our leather. We are going to
ES 962.
and like I said, I went for a matching color, so we're going to completely cover that stitch with our Shannon, and then I'm going to cover my Shannon with a water soluble topper. And the next one is going to tack all of that down. It of course tells you to use tape. I'm sure you're all very surprised that I did not. I'm just going to hold it. Join in the club.
And am I guessing that we don't trim?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it would make sense that we would just
Leave everything like it is.
Yep.
Yep. So in case you are not hearing because of the stitches, we are not trimming anything at this point. We are just going to stitch the next color, which is the placement line for our leather. And we don't want to trim anything. We're going to do all of the stitching before we do any more for this. And the water soluble topper is there to give us that even stitch feel so that we get a nice stitch out on that fuzzy.
otherwise the stitches
The
just get
stitches
lost.
sink in and they don't look as pretty. So this particular design probably would survive without, but the other would definitely not. You would absolutely have to have the water soluble topper for the other design. This would sit up on top fairly well. That if you only have a little bit and you're planning to stitch both, save it for the other one.
Yeah.
But you should really have it on both.
Do we need to, would it be better if we cut that in half or, oh no, it seems like
No,
it's covering.
I think
Okay.
we're good. All right. So again, we're going to completely cover that and then tack it down.
There is a decorative stitch going around the outside of this one, but sometimes when we do leather, there isn't. So you do want to pay attention to your colors. In this instance, it's going to be covered.
Right.
But yeah,
A lot of times this is the
decorative
the what's
stitch.
showing stitch. This one has a satin stitch covering, but good point.
Yes. Sometimes I have them.
I didn't mean it like that. This time around, we are going to be trimming. We need to get rid of the excess because of that lovely satin stitch. So I need to trim off my leather. The goal is to not trim off my water soluble at the same time, but that can be a little harder than it sounds.
Yes.
Let's see if I can flip that a little bit. See if
Is it a little easier?
This is a little easier. Yeah. Let's see which ones I like. I got 4 pair over here to pick from.
That was my second good idea of the week. I'm done.
You're out? Taking a break?
I'm done. Yeah.
It also looks nicer from that side.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I am trimming right up to that stitch line.
Good morning, Karen. And we do still have, well, you can purchase the pattern anytime if you haven't already. But we do have kits as well. So if you were not participating and you didn't get a kit, you
now
can.
think you need one.
Yes. And just as an FYI, a lot of times when we make our kits for these Kimberbell projects, like this one, you have enough to make 2. So you can make both versions of this.
That's a little creepy.
It does. It kind of looks like
all right. I'm just going to show. Hang on, just
binoculars.
I'm going to show those bodkins just real quick. So this is the one that we use, and you can see that there is that pinch end. So you would clamp on, in this case, to one end, either of your elastic or the tube, and then you would slide this guy up, and that keeps the clamp end in place and on whatever it is. And you can see that there is a little bit of a...
They're kind of like teeth.
Yep, there's little teeth there. You can see that. So that is the one. And then the second is kind of like a needle without a sharp tip. So you've got literally a plastic that's been melted to that end. And then this end here, you have just a very easy thread through on that tip. So these come really together as a pair, and then you can use those for different types of pulling through different
types of casings and things.
Depending on what you're using, you have the different.
And the pack of 2 is $4.50.
Yeah,
so
they're not an expensive tool to have, but they are absolutely wonderful
nice
to have
in your arsenal.
Absolutely better than the safety pin.
Yeah.
The only time they're not is when you have a short.
Yeah.
Like if you have a really small turn and you don't have space for that long guy to go through.
Yeah.
So this is the decorative satin stitch.
I think we should put the camera a little higher facing down. Do you think that would? Do you think it gets stuck on this a little bit? Do you think
it's
okay?
Just that there's not
a lot of space. Okay.
When it's because of the 5x7, that space is
just narrow.
Really narrow when you go too high. Okay. I played with that a minute. It doesn't give any.
Doesn't make any difference. Okay.
Nope. You go much higher, and then all you see is
the side.
Yep. What are you leaning on?
David and I have been walking on the treadmill, and I have like a yoga ball on there in the room, and I was on the yoga ball, and the cat jumped on me, so I like fell off the yoga ball, trying to not fall on the cat, and I bashed my arm into the side of the treadmill. And it's so that's where I've got a little bit of a bruise, and
nice job.
It's a little tender there, but that was quite hysterical. I was laughing. I laughed so hard I nearly peed my pants. What are the odds that the cat would just decide to jump on my lap? Yeah, I was trying to like stretch, my back, and the cat just leaped. So
cats are funny.
Yes. And then David and I were laughing because we had been looking at the yoga balls online, and a lot of them have like a base. And I was like, why would you need a base? This is exactly why you would need a base. So when your cat jumps on you, you don't roll over.
The things you learn the hard way. Good morning.
Morning. It
At first,
is
I thought we had a problem, but that is actually how it's
how it looks.
digitized.
I think it's because it's supposed to
It's
look like a
supposed to look
cucumber.
like a cucumber that's not completely symmetrical everywhere, but
I felt a little bit better about seeing that stitch out because I was looking at the pictures and I was like, that is a really poorly cut piece of leather. Why would they have taken a picture of that? But now I see that it is just
because I'm like, oh my gosh, is there something wrong? And then I'm
no.
like, I looked at the screen and I was like, nope, it's supposed to look that way.
Yeah, I wonder how many people have stitched this out and thought their machine was broken.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine once we have the whole thing together. I just was like, So in case you're wondering what we're mumbling about here behind the machine, the satin stitch around the outside edge is not completely symmetrical all the way around. So it is supposed to represent a actual cucumber slice. So it's not even all the way around. There's nothing wrong with your machine.
No.
Because we were both like, oh man, but it's intended to look that way. So, yeah.
That's funny.
We're both like,
I broke it.
Sarah's that too close. Hi, Mom. Yep. Hi, Mom.
I can't. Next year's designs are really cute.
Yes, I'm very excited. There's super cute ones in there, so I'm looking forward.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. It's we've done a lot of different projects,
and they're not necessarily ones I would have come up with or gone and gotten on my own without seeing them and been like, oh, that's really cute.
Yeah,
I would do that again.
But a lot of fun techniques next year. There's I was reading through the little snippets of the stuff, so there's a lot of really neat. They are.
Is there one that's stuck out for you?
I mean, we both love the bag. That is super cute. What would be my second favorite? I think January's towel. The pie.
The pie is very darling. Yes.
Very, very cute.
Of course, I just made a lot of pies, so I'm a little pied out at the moment.
Right. That one is really cute.
I looked at that as to whether that would be something that I could use for the projects that I was doing, and it was not because it had the slice that came out of it.
Yeah.
But it was. I really liked the hearts in the center, so that's why I was like, I wonder if I could use that. But
yeah,
it wasn't. So the next color are like the seeds of the cucumber, and they're in the shape of little hearts. So I am switching to a very, very pale green. It looks like a cream in the instructions. This is Exquisite's number 944 that I am threading with. And it's definitely a creamy, but it has just a hint of green to it.
And both of these colors are in the like if you did
our
SNL thread set, which kind of corresponds with Kimberbell fabrics.
These two are in there.
Yep.
This one I didn't get from that. It's possible it's in there.
Well, and it could be.
It could be in one of the other. I can pull that up too.
Yeah.
But the third color, it's not. I didn't get from that box, but that box has been ransacked here. So
it has, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That passes muster for me.
So there's a really cute pillow. It's
Yes.
like a lumbar pillow, so it's a little bigger. And the blank, they must be coming out with a new red blank. So the blank is red. That looks really cute. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. They're coming out with, this is not a surprise, they're going to come out with their own iron-on vinyl. So there's
and then there's the bat. You really liked the bat.
Oh God, the bat is so cute. Yeah, he's just adorable. I just don't know.
There's a lot. I am very pleased just looking at the sets.
Yes.
They did a really great job. There's a lot of variety. They did a really nice job.
They did, yeah. they definitely are innovating, and changing all kinds of very. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Like I think about doing a lot of things in my embroidery hoop, and then sometimes I think, oh God, I could just sew it quicker than it would take me to figure out how to do it. So I
But they
applaud
actually
them.
have somebody sitting down there figuring out how to do it.
Yeah, I applaud them for doing that.
And
so
they definitely have out of the box
things, yeah.
ways of coming up with a way to make it work.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Jane came in late. Yes, this is water soluble stabilizer and water soluble topper on here.
Yep. So this is just a topper, and that is, of course, to give us that level stitch field. And then in the hoop, we have a single layer of water soluble stabilizer.
Yeah. You know, if you think back, like, I don't know, let's say even just 10 years ago, the amount of things that we did in our hoop, we had freestanding lace has been around for a long time.
Yep.
And zippered pouches.
And zippered pouches, but the zippered pouches weren't even always.
Most of them were not lined.
They were not lined. And if they were not one file.
Right.
It was like you made the front, you made the back, or,
some variation of that.
Right. Usually you made the back first.
Yes.
And then you made the front, and then you put that original piece
Yep.
on, and then it wasn't one whole thing.
No.
That
you're curious why there's water soluble stabilizer in this.
that's what we're building it on.
Yes.
So that is all that's the stabilizer that we started with. So that's the base that we're building this on. And we don't want any stabilizer to stiffen this when we're done. So that'll be gotten rid of. So no tear away or anything to make it stiff. So it'll be nice and soft when we go to put it on our face.
Yes.
Which we're both planning on taking a nap later with the mask. So, but yeah, so and I've said this many times, the first class that I took from her
Yeah, cut the stabilizer.
was a drawstring pouch bag.
Mhm.
And the very first step was whoosh, cut the stabilizer. And everybody in the classroom went, what?
Yes.
I mean, because that was like the biggest no-no. If you cut your stabilizer, you got a hole, you had to patch it, you had to start over, you know, and
yep. Bad. Yeah, it's a little lower, isn't it?
But I mean, that was like such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Jane used no-show mesh. The only disadvantage to no-show mesh is that when no-show mesh is washed, sometimes it can shrink a little bit or distort afterwards. But
it would work.
It would definitely work. We're literally just following the Kimberbell instructions. She said use water soluble stabilizer. So
we're using water soluble stabilizer. But it could work, yes. And it is flexible. So you're right, it wouldn't give you a stiffness or anything to that aspect. It just, this way we're not adding anything in there. Even the mesh would give a little bit more thickness to the mask.
Yep.
Where this way we're not having any additional.
Yep. Also stretchiness. This project is super. The Minky Cuddle stuff is definitely stretchy. So the lay across your face part, the water soluble
will allow it
to
move
you.
More.
Yeah, your no-show mesh will be stable in there. So yeah,
right.
Those are. But you can definitely use it.
Yep.
That would probably be the reason why they picked mesh, is just for the stretchability of it.
We have one more color change. And that one is Exquisite
955.
So, and Miss Mary there says she loves that Kimberbell came up with pinwheels in the hoop. No doubt, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to piece those?
I know. They have done
They've done
lot.
so many things.
Yeah.
But a lot of those large quilts, I can very clearly remember the first ones that I did. All of the quilt type things were sewn.
Right.
And now they are slowly doing all of them in the hoop,
hoop.
so that you don't have to do all of those.
Yeah. It's really cute. This is probably one of those times where using like the tool that we have, the fabric folding pen, you could probably peel off all of the stabilizer from inside and not necessarily need to wash it again, because Jane's issue was if you give it away as a gift and they wash it, it can get gooey. But
or just get it wet without a full washing. Because a full washing would dissolve it.
Yeah.
But you know, just getting something slightly wet does make for gooey up.
Yeah. All right, well, now we need to put the backing on. I'm assuming.
So now we're doing the flexi foam.
Oh, flexi foam first. Okay.
All right, so we are going to tape that to the back of the hoop. And it doesn't really matter from here on out what color we stitch with. Should we switch to the light just so that it's not
super noticeable?
As noticeable, yep. So
we have flexi foam and a backing left.
So the first thing that we're going to do, and I am at the bottom of page 6 in the instructions if you are following along. So you do want to be on the back of the hoop, not on the front, and we're going to take that flexi foam and completely cover up the project stitches, which are very, very easily seen, and we are going to tape that down. Just like always, we want to make sure that our corners are clearly taped so that we don't have any shifting on the back, because if our corners turn underneath somewhere, that causes lots of issues, and we really don't want that. So I always say, don't do your compass points. Don't do north, south, east, west. You always want to do your corners when you are on the back of the hoop. And there is no way to get out of taping on the back of the hoop. You have to do that. So we are just going to do the foam on the back, and then we're going to stitch that foam down by itself. So we're not laying our other piece of cuddle. We are just doing the foam. Alrighty. So just the foam.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. And here we go. Color stop number 8.
Yep. And we have put that lighter color ES 944 back in. And now it's going to tell us where we want to put the elastic, right?
I need to trim.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's going to have a chunka.
Got it.
So we now need to trim off that excess, and then we do that.
Okay. Just excess flexi foam?
Excess flexi foam.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to get rid of all of that. I'm so used to this, I forget I can do this. Habits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been a while.
Right. Obviously, we can still tweak it if that's not the right place.
No, this is great. I just forget. So So I actually have a knee,
A place to put your knees.
a knee place the way that we're sitting over here. And I haven't had that for quite a while.
We totally could have done the same thing on the other side. It just never even occurred to me. I don't know. Like I said,
Well,
I had
you know, we did kind of use the drawer
a little bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit. So it didn't dawn on either of us. Well, hey, we could flip that around. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go back over here and stitch the elastic placement lines. So that's casing placement. And again, we have that really pale light green in there. I was like, oh my God, really?
Right?
Wow.
Wow. All right. And we are going to want to tape that in place. Yes?
Oh, yes.
All right. Are you going to take it over there?
I don't gotta. I was just trying to make sure that the
How are we doing with that in full kit still? Because we're
So
Are we out?
With this order, we are out of finished kits.
Okay.
Because we got 5 last night.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I think we might have 1,
okay.
but these are incomplete.
Okay. So hopefully that comes soon.
just trying to straighten the elastic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's straighthenable. Good enough. All right, so we want to have all of the excess in the center and an end poking out each side, approximately a 1/2 inch past the placement line.
Okay.
I was just reading what else it had on there. Ugh. Man, it does not like this one, does it?
Mm-mm.
So we're gonna go about a 1/2 inch there.
Oh.
And look good.
Mhm.
About a 1/2 inch there. Take that. And that is going to tape and tack all of that.
You're probably going to want to really pay attention to your machine. If your machine tends to go back to the center,
Yeah.
you're really going to want to just pay close attention to what's going on here.
I'm going this way.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Watch it go that way.
Right?
So we should be on color stop 10.
We are on color stop 10.
It is just going to stitch the bottom one.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna stitch just this guy down here. So make sure that you have everything out of the way of your foot, and it's just gonna stitch this guy in place. If you have a stiletto on hand, that's probably a good idea.
Probably should have taped over the area maybe.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's do that too.
So the foot can get through it. You don't want your foot to get stuck underneath there because it will just pull everything right out.
All right, so we're gonna literally go right over top of that.
That should help.
And here we go again. Much better.
Yes.
Like that. All right, so I am now going to.
That is obviously why they only do one part, at a time and not do both pieces.
All right, I'm just going to use this.
Yeah, and put that right over.
And completely cover up that end. And stitch the back one. That should be color stop number 11. That did not work as well as it should have. We need to probably raise the foot a little bit.
Okay, I can do that.
Maybe go back on that one.
We'll do. Yep, I'll raise the foot.
Try that. Oops, that's not what I meant.
The one in here?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to restitch that because it really pushed that to the left and I'm not happy with where that's sitting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not happy with where that's sitting, are you?
No. Almost. There you go.
All right. So we're going to try that one more time. And we have raised our foot up. And we are restitching color stop number 11. Lost mine. So much better.
Yeah.
All right. Now says to remove all of the topping from the design. So we're going to do what it tells us to do. Get rid of all of that excess.
Slide up just a little.
Yeah, I'm just going to get that tape off.
There we go.
Oh, this is so soft. myself. All right, once we have all of our excess removed, we are going to tape the casing. Shows you, it just wants everything taped to the center and then taped to the right is where it's showing. So
Yeah, it looks like when it puts the top piece on, or the backing piece in this instance, it's doing it in sections, kind of like it did the
top, bottom.
top and bottom. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the elastic piece in position. And now we're going to take our piece of Shannon that is left and cover up the project. And it's going to just stitch this section here. So that's where we're at. I don't normally do this, but I got lots going on. So I'm going to give it a little bit of help. Because I don't know where the needle is going to go. And I want to make sure that everything stays where it's supposed to. And I might not put my hand in the spot that needs to be in. So we're just going to give it a little bit of help.
All right.
So again, we're just going to do the bottom section over here.
Okay.
And we still have our foot raised?
We still have our foot raised.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say that if you are struggling with this part in your machine, this part here, you could easily finish on your sewing machine.
Absolutely.
So if you feel like this is just like, oh my God,
oh
it's
my
too
gosh,
stressful,
I'm going to blow this up.
or maybe your foot isn't going over the areas as well as you want it to, you could definitely put the backing of this on your sewing machine where you have a little bit more control over what's going on. And if you were at your sewing machine, a walking foot would be super beneficial for doing this. But you've got that existing line on the back that if you just put this on it, you would be able to follow that stitching line. So if this doesn't work for some reason, don't stress about this part. It would be
you
really
could very
easy
easily sew it
to sew. Yeah, just to sew this piece.
because you have the stitch line on the back side.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just follow that stitch line very, very easily. All right, so we're going to basically repeat that on the top end. And again, I know I don't normally do this, but there's way too much going on in this hoop to not give it all of the help that I can. And again, we do have our foot raised.
Yes.
We were at 12, 10,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
I think that'll be all right.
Yeah.
We got a little tug right there, but I think we'll be okay. I think we can probably pull that out.
Yeah, and once it flips around to the other side, you won't see it. And now it wants to do the bottom.
Yep. So what we need to do is now take our piece that is on the right and put it through. Can you come over here?
Yes.
We now need to take this guy here and put it through the opening that's over here before we stitch that bottom. All right. Kind of weird, but
yep.
What are you going to do?
And I'm guessing we're probably not going to stitch the second one live.
Probably not.
Because we're already 45 minutes in.
All right, so if you are following, you're going to pull that casing through the opening now on the left side of your hoop, and then tape that right piece down.
There we go.
All right, and then it will do the bottom stitch line over here. And here we go. So that is the final stitch on the machine. We're now going to turn it through that opening at the top. And then they have this thing they're showing with the needle and thread.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
We wouldn't do that by hand.
No.
No, we would definitely just take it to the sewing machine.
But we are going to remove that from the hoop and give it about a 1/2 inch all the way around is what they're recommending. I'm going to be covered in white fuzz.
You are. Connie asked, would it be good to slow down the machine? You can definitely slow down the machine. It's either gonna clear the hump or it's not, though. Even if it's slow, slow motion won't necessarily make it go over the hump better.
Right. If you have a hopping foot, you're not going to have the option to raise your foot. If
Right.
you have the option to raise your foot, definitely do that for that section over. So obviously, don't cut your elastic. Hopefully, that's obvious. That's a little bit larger because I have my end piece in there. All right, so I've got a very, very messy cut here. Now I want to literally give myself some notches for my curves so that when I go to turn it, it will actually give me a smooth, hopefully, anyway. And please don't snip your stitch line. Just go up to it, not into it. Good sharp pair of scissors is what you need here. These are Havel scissors. They are fantastic. Trying to decide what I want to remove. Let's just make that smaller and snip lines in.
Those are Havels. That's just
Serrated edge.
serrated edge. Yeah, it's just a brand of scissor. They have a pretty wide area where you put your hand in, and then a pretty sharp.
They're very similar to like the Karen K. Buckley's.
Yeah,
Um,
except for it's like a hard plastic handle versus hers are like the Karen K. Buckley's. A lot of times are rubbery. But yeah, just a nice sharp. The Karen K. Buckley scissors are super nice as well.
Yep.
Got to have a variety of good sharp scissors in your arsenal.
To decide what, I want to get rid of a little bit more of that. Definitely some bulk in there. All right, see what happens. Oh, that foams. Ugh. Sound effects are free. One side.
So I think the foam kind of makes these a little bit more. They're definitely substantial and softer. It might help block out some light, but I definitely think you could probably get away without foam in there. Would
If you wanted
agree?
to, yeah.
Yeah, you could have something be a little bit softer if you wanted to.
Adorable.
It is
Oh
so
my
cute.
God. Yep, nap time.
Nap time.
And then, like we were saying, you've got that opening. You can close however you would like. I seriously would just, especially with this fabric, you would never see the stitch line. I would just take that to my sewing machine and run over that opening with a straight stitch with white thread. You'll never see it. It'll just bury itself.
Yep. So cute. And if you were concerned, you could, when you had your thread in there, you could do a little security stitch right across here if you thought it was going to be. If
you were worried, but
pulled.
it went around there. Yeah. You've got quite a few stitches holding that in place. But
like if you're in your embroidery hoop, if it wasn't stitching it well,
yep. If you thought it was pulling loose or something at that point, you certainly could run over that again with white thread. You're not going to see it. Just give it a little bit more. So you've got the cool as a cucumber stitch right on top of that guy there. We have our adorable little heart-shaped seeds on both. But that is absolutely darling. And it's softer than Sam Hill. So
I can only imagine.
I would totally put this on.
Right? And
I've never worn a sleep mask before, but I totally would give this a go. I
could definitely see making the tops of these in my embroidery machine, but I think I would personally finish them on my sewing machine.
I can see where that would be. Probably, I mean, there was a little bit of finessing to get that to go. I mean, it certainly worked. But if I were making one, but if I thought I was going to make these for gifts, and I think have an assembly line going,
probably just be quicker to finish them.
But yes, absolutely, darling.
But
and
so cute. Oh my goodness. Yep. We definitely have to make the other one later.
Okay, pull. Right on the glasses. So I don't get it on my makeup.
Super cute. Lisa's out.
Too many things going on in my glasses.
A little fuzz now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right? I lost my toppers. Okay. Woo!
All right. Well, that was super fun. And it was like a little thrilling. We had some danger in there.
We did. That was a lot going on in the hoop.
It was.
It really was quite a bit.
Really thick.
We have to make sure we put that back down before
we do. I'm going to do that. Well, are we going to make, we still need to put it down.
Yeah, but the beginning part will need to be down.
I do have to hit, okay, I'm going to do it right now.
Anytime that you raise your foot, you always want to make a note of it, whether it be leaving your setting screen on the machine, and then you look at it and go, why do I have my setting screen up here? Mm-hmm. You want to do something. What I do at home is I have Post-it notes in the top drawer of my cabinet. I will just stick a Post-it note on the top corner of my machine. I don't need to write on it. That tells me I changed a setting.
Yeah.
That's all I need because I know what setting I changed. I just need a reminder that says, hey, you changed a setting, you need to put it back. So
If you changed more than one and you're not sure,
then you can write on it.
yourself a note.
But
But yes.
all you need is a Post-it note or a something,
Mhm.
or like I said, just leave the setting screen up, because when you go to hit finish embroidery or whatever, you're going to be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that setting, I need to put that back and it will be there. But make sure that you do take note. Your machines will stitch crappy. If you have your foot up too high and you're trying to stitch a standard something,
Mm-hmm.
it will not be working normally. And you'll be calling and saying,
Hey.
I think my machine's broke. I need to bring it in. I mean, we see it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
because you raised it for something and then you forgot. And it's not something that we're going to go, hey, did you raise your, that's not a normal question.
Not, it
in the
comes
list.
like on question,
It's
like
it's
maybe
like 20 down the line,
Yeah.
you know? So it's not something that we're going to necessarily know to ask right away. We're going to go with, when's the last time you changed your needle? When's this, did you thread your bobbin right? Do you have a broken needle?
You know what we should do sometime? We should make a checklist.
We should.
We should make these are the most common things that happen. So if your thread is shredding, here's your
Check
checklist.
this.
Yes. We should do that. We
Yeah.
should totally do that.
That reminds me, I need a new bobbin case. I destroyed mine. I've never seen a bobbin case do what happened to mine.
Yeah, got a little gnarly in there.
It shattered my bobbin case.
Oh goodness.
I've never seen
I mean,
a
if you're
broken needle, and I don't even know how the needle broke, but it shattered the needle, and I was like, oh, so I better check and get those needle parts out.
Mhm.
And I pulled out the bobbin case and I went, pieces were loose.
Oh goodness.
I mean,
if
it
you're
was-
gonna do it,
I did it good.
do right.
Do it right.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah. It's like, I gotta have an extra one around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Good thing. But yeah, so you definitely, that's something we should
Put
add that to our list.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So don't forget, make sure that you put your settings back to their defaults so that you will get good stitches on all of
Yes.
your designs, not just the one that you just did. All right.
All right.
So thanks for stitching with us.
Yeah.
This is
So
absolutely darling, and it's so
cute.
soft.
I've lost Lisa.
Yep,
She's
I'm
gonna
done.
be fine
I'm
with her
out.
mask today.
I'm out. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us.
Don't forget, next week when we go live, it will be on Wednesday.
Yes.
So,
What's new at Lebu on Tuesdays is now
stitching with SNL on Wednesdays. So we will see you there.
All
You
right.
guys have a good one. Bye.
Bye.